is.
So he said, maybe I'll even stop by. But, I just wish I was there. I wish I was with everybody. I want to give a big shout out to all of them down there. And I also want to give a shout out to Harry's Bar and Grill. Harry's Bar and Grill, every single time that we descend on Washington, D.C., they host us, they accept us, they love us, and we love them. So I want to give a big shout out to Harry's Bar and Grill as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I think we got enough people watching. It's breaking news, so make sure you get this out. Ready? Here we go. I got it right here. Ready? The U.S. government determined that all the Dominion servers, were involved in switching votes. Then the intelligence community began a search for the server and discovered that the server was placed in Germany. Okay? That's very, very key. Ladies and gentlemen, the servers for Dominion were based in Germany. This ties into why President Trump fired Esper the other day. Everybody was wondering, well, what does Esper have anything to do with anything? He doesn't have anything to do with the elections. He doesn't have anything to do with internal, election fraud and stuff like that. Well, the reason why Esper was fired was because they needed to put that operation put together, and they needed the right people involved and the wrong people not involved. Okay? So, the Dominion server was discovered that the servers were in Germany. In order to get access to the server and have it available for use in a legal manner, they had to have the State Department work in tandem with the Department of Justice. You guys wondering where Bill Barr is? This is what Bill Barr's been doing. I'll read that again. In order to get access to that server and have it available for use in a legal manner, they had to have the State Department work in tandem with the Department of Justice. They had to request that the government of Germany cooperate in allowing this seizure of this server. The appropriate documents required to effect this kind of seizure were put in place, signed off on, and it appears that there was also a U.S. military support in the operation. The U.S. military was not in the lead of this operation. But this helps explain why Esper was fired and Miller and Kash Patel were put in his place, so that the military would not interfere with the operation in any way. Esper was in a position to where he could have had the military interfere with this because it was international. It had things to do with terrorism and counterterrorism. He had influence over the U.S. military and foreign affairs and foreign operations, and Esper would have been directly involved in making sure this didn't happen. That's why Esper was fired. All right, so again, they said Miller and Kash Patel were put in his place. The military would not interfere with the operation in any way. By getting a hold of the server, Team Trump is now going to have the direct evidence of when the instruction to stop counting happened. They will also discover who gave the direction to stop the counting and who initiated the algorithm that started switching votes. And then it ends off saying this: the CIA was completely excluded from this operation. I'm going to put this in the comment thread below. Okay, so you guys want to know where Barr's been, where's Trump been? And when Trump said yesterday at his Rose Garden thing, when he's like, this administration will never, ever do a lockdown. We'll see what administration is there, and he kind of smirked. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going right here. When I told you this was going to come down to Dominion, this is not going to come down to votes and states' votes, because this right here, now that they're in the U.S. Army is in direct possession, okay, of the servers, the physical servers and everything. Like I said, like in this last paragraph, Team Trump now is going to have the direct evidence of when the instruction to stop counting happened. They will also discover who gave the direction to stop counting and who initiated the algorithm that started switching votes. And the CIA was completely excluded from this operation. It makes sense, doesn't it, that President Trump has been literally cleaning house at the CIA, the Pentagon, the DHS, the DOD. So, ladies and gentlemen, what this means for you and I is that all these votes, you wonder why President Trump's legal team pulled out of their lawsuit in Arizona. Don't believe the fake news. It had nothing to do with the fact that they didn't have any evidence. It had nothing to do with that. They're going to focus their teams where they think their teams are going to be most effective for you, the American people. That is why they pulled out of Arizona. They don't need the votes, ladies and gentlemen. They don't need the votes in Georgia. They don't need the votes in Virginia. They don't need the votes in Pennsylvania. They don't need the votes in Wisconsin. They don't need the votes in Michigan. That is going to still continue because there's already lawsuits filed, and what they're going to do is that's going to be the icing on the cake, ladies and gentlemen, because that's going to verify and validate all the votes that President Trump actually did get and all the votes that pedophile-elect didn't get. So that's going to only further prove that that nobody wanted him to be president. But those aren't going to matter in the end, ladies and gentlemen, because now that they have the server, the Dominion servers from Germany, they're just going to present those to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is going to issue that the entire election was invalid, that the entire election cannot be counted in any way, shape, or form, and they're going to push it down to Congress. President Trump is your president for 4 more years, like we've been saying. I've been telling you that Dominion was going to be the thing that took him down. Well, that's going to be the thing that takes him down. And if you need further proof, ladies and gentlemen, of this, Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell and Jay Sekulow are the ones that put this information out, along with some bureaucrats. If you go to it's not the whitehouse.gov. You can get to the link from whitehouse.gov, but you can go search this, ladies and gentlemen. Go find this yourselves. Like I said, I'll put all this in the comments below. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why these votes aren't gonna, the fraudulent votes and all that are not gonna matter, because you're not cutting off limbs at this point. You're going straight for the head. You're going straight for the head. Okay? Yes, we can trust Congress, Nolene, because here's the thing. According to the Constitution, if this gets kicked back down to Congress, I'll say this again, like I've been saying it, from the Supreme Court, then according to the Constitution, you have to vote party line. You can't break rank. Party line is party line, period. And we have a majority of the states, so we automatically have the vote. I mean, it's a no-brainer. What they're going to do is they're going to swap out the electors, and they're going to put the electors in there that go for President Trump. That's what's going to happen. So no matter what the fake news tells you, no matter what they're reporting, no matter what they're not reporting, this is real. This is real right here, ladies and gentlemen. Real. And they had to think about that. They had to exclude the #1 information spy agency on the planet. They had to exclude them, ladies and gentlemen. Our own CIA had to be excluded. That's the most telling thing about this, about where we are as a country and how deep the swamp really goes. We had to exclude pieces and divisions of our own U.S. government that would oversee this kind of stuff, because we knew that they would interfere. Isn't that crazy to you? To me, that just blows my mind. So when Sidney Powell was talking last night about releasing the Kraken, I'm sure you've all seen that, right? When Sidney said, "I'm going to release the Kraken," this is what she's talking about. This is the damn Kraken. Isn't that great news? So I didn't want to come on long. I'm not going to be on the rest of the day, so if you guys don't hear from me, it's okay. I'm spending time with my family. I'm going to go out. I'm going to do some Christmas shopping, because we're going to have another Christmas under President Donald J. Trump, and we're going to have 4 more under him as well, based on this information right here. And isn't it a shame that nobody's reporting it? I'm waiting for Newsmax to report it. You know what I mean? If I continue to stay a step ahead of you guys gotta hire me. You know what I mean? If I continue to stay ahead of you, you gotta hire me. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll read this one more time before I go for the people who just joined in.
And there you have it. Trump, another 4. God exposes sin. That's what he does. Aloha.